going to start moving the body, okay? Beautiful. Thanks for listening. Okay, Wilhelmina, this is your first time with back body. So we started last week, a day early. It's really powerful. We will do a few prep postures and then we'll get right into it, okay? Remember the lines of the back body, they just run up the back of the feet, back of the legs, the back of the arms and into your fingertips, okay? Back of the tailbone up through the crown of the head. There's a lot of strength here in the back of the body, and I think it's always that check-in point, you know, every few months, every 4 months, to kind of gather our strength and organize our strength, both on a physical level and a spiritual and mental level. Okay, so we're going to start onto our knees. If this is uncomfortable for you guys, throw a blanket or a pillow underneath the back here, sit up onto a block. Just make yourself as comfortable as possible here. Good. Take a couple breaths. I'm spilling my water. Let's rest our hands onto our knees. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Good. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's slide our hands down onto our knees and curl through the spine. So gain as much movement as you can here. Bring your gaze down towards your pelvis or your belly button. Pull your shoulders down onto your back, creating space between your shoulders and your ears. Good. And with your next inhale, let's move the spine the opposite direction. So pull your chest through, gaze up towards the sky. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, curl. Sit back into the pelvis. And again, let's pull the chest up and through. Good. Let's relax here. Let's come forward onto our hands and knees. You're going to put the crown of the head down onto the mat. Your hands are kind of back towards, I guess, just back in between your head and your knees. And you're going to start to curl forward so that you start to feel the stretch in through the back of the neck. So you start onto the crown of the head and you just roll forward. So we start with a few prep postures to start to activate the main energy channel in the body. So this is where our chakras all lie up and down the spine. It's from the tailbone all the way up through the crown of the head. Okay, let's gently roll out. Sit back onto your heels. You're going to take your left arm, thread it underneath your right. Drop your ear onto the mat. Your hands can clasp together and straighten your arms. You can push into them gently so you can start to feel a stretch along the left side of the body. Good. So we're starting slow with the breath. Just be mindful. In and out through the nose. Beautiful. Come back through center and we'll switch sides. Plant your left hand. Right arm threads underneath. Interlace your fingers. Right ear down onto the mat. And we're just settling back into the body. If you felt a little bit removed, not very grounded the last few days, this is the perfect time to ground in with some deep breaths. Feel the sensation of the earth underneath you. Beautiful. Let's come back through center. Plant your hands down onto the mat and push back, downward facing dog. Take a moment for the body to open. Move however it feels good. You might be lifting your heels, coming up onto your toes. Let's bring our gaze towards the top of our mat. Jumper step forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, gaze up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And Samastitihi. Good. For a moment here, bring your hands in front of heart center. Let's bow inward, and please set an intention for your practice. Be mindful, but allow the intention to flow. It's usually the first thing that pops into our mind. That is what we need to focus on. Good. Gently open the eyes and release your arms by your side. Good. Inhale, rise up with your arms lengthen, reach out of the body. Exhale, fold forward, hands onto the shins or the mat. Inhale, gaze up. Plant your hands, jump or step back into high plank. Guide your shoulders over your wrists as you lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Coming into pigeon posture, inhale your right shin behind your right wrist crease. Let's come on down. Be gentle for the first few. You might be a little bit stiff as we start to warm the body up. You need some support under that right hip. Go ahead and grab a pillow or a block. Place it underneath. Good. Plant your hands. Straighten your back leg. Step back. Downward facing dog. And right away, let's guide the left shin forward. And just notice how your body is responding, how it feels. You want to really get to know the sensation and the communication that is happening. The guidance is always there. So let's work to just get a little more comfortable receiving it. Good. Let's inhale, lift your back knee, step back into high plank. Lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And just feel how good it is to have something strong to push down into, to feel that support, balanced with the lightness of the pelvis reaching up toward the sky, and then the breath flooding the body. Good. Let's move your gaze towards the top of our mat. Jump or step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise. Nice and strong and steady. And Samastitihi. Beautiful. Again, inhale, rise with the arms. Gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze up. Plant your hands, jump or step back, high plank. Let's lower. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale your right shin forward. Pigeon posture. Get nice and tall. Feel the reach of the chest and the depth of your breath. Good. Plant your hands, lift your back knee, step back, downward facing dog. And right away, shift into the left side. So we talk about creating fluidity in between our movements, right? If we can create fluidity in the body, then the breath is more likely to stay fluid as well. And the mind is able to ground into this fluidity, right? Without that starting and stopping, kind of those harsher movements, right? So see if we can create that kind of smoothness between our transitions today. Good. Plant your hands, lift your back knee, step back into high plank. Let's lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Just 3 breaths here. Inhale, let's make our way to the top of our mat. Lengthen and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And Samastiti. Here, let's flow through one more, a little bit quicker. Inhale, rise up with the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze up. Hands come down, make your way. High plank, lower chaturanga dandasana. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale your right shin forward, pigeon posture. Let's arrive into the posture. Just take one full breath here. Good. And then make your way back into high plank. And last time through on the left, inhale forward. Sorry, I think I tricked you guys. Left shin forward. You know when everyone is doing the opposite thing of you that you said it wrong. Good. One big inhale here. Exhale. Let's plant the hand, lift your right knee, step back into high plank. Good. Flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. So really emphasizing the pauses at the peak of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. So just pausing there for a moment and noticing what is offered to you in that space, in that time. So sometimes we try to rush through things, right? Kind of move through the movement quickly, even in life. So just see if you can notice what that pause offers you in terms of wisdom and guidance. Let's bring your gaze forward. Jumper step to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And Samastiti. Good. We should be nice and warm now at this point. Let's take a step back with our right foot. We're facing the long edge of our mat with our toes turned out. Good. Hands onto the hips. Inhale, lengthen the chest up. And exhale, let's fold forward. Release your hands and walk them over towards your right ankle. Let's clasp onto our right ankle with both hands. And then you should feel a stretch here by just shifting the weight more into the left foot. So play around with it until you feel that stretch. Good. Keep grounded into the right, but keep pulling. Okay, let's release. Walk your hands toward the left ankle. Grab onto your left ankle with both hands. And then again, kind of shift your weight, push into that right hip, your right foot. And you should feel a stretch along the left leg and even the right side of the body. Yeah, let's walk our hands back through center. Take your hands back behind you, clasp onto your hands, interlace fingers, and fold forward. Lift your fists up away from your back towards the ceiling and then the mat. Good. Now just for a second, check in with your feet. Notice where the weight is landing. If you're too heavy into the heels, trust the strength of the legs as you push into the toes just slightly. And watch how that activates the back of the legs. Good. Now continue that activation up the entire back, landing into the back of the arms and the back of your hands. Very good. Good. Let's release our hands. Grab onto your ankles and fold forward. Bend your elbows out to the side. Reach the crown of the head straight down towards the mat. Might even come really close to it. How much depth can you get here? So breathe into that tightness. See what you can access there in terms of space and letting go. Good. Keep your hands where they are. Inhale, lengthen, gaze up, long through the spine. Exhale, hands onto your hips. And inhale, let's rise all the way up. Good. Release your arms and come to stand at the top of your mat into Samasthiti. Beautiful. We're coming to half moon posture. So if you need your block, grab it. Step back just a little so you have a little more space and bring your feet hip distance apart. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And exhale, fold forward. Good. Walk your right hand forward onto the mat or a block. Shift your weight to the right side of the body. Left leg lifts, left hand onto your hip or up towards the sky. Good. See if you can match up fingertip to fingertip. Yeah, that was perfect, Robin. Good. Good, Wilhelmina. Now, if you want an added challenge, you're going to bend that left knee, catch onto the top of your left foot, and kick your foot into your hand. Beautiful. That's good. Good. So let's release the left hand down onto the mat. Pivot the left hip so that it squares down to the mat. We're going to come into our twist. So left hand stays onto the mat or a block. Right hand onto your sacrum or up towards the sky. These twists are sometimes tricky, so adding a little height with your block might just help you in a little more depth. Beautiful. Good. With your next exhale, let's release. Right hand comes down, left foot. Walk your hands back. Maybe give it a little shake out, bending knees. Good. And then let's ease into the left side. Walk your left hand forward. Good. Lift your right leg. Right hand onto your hip, up towards the sky or catching onto that top foot. Good. So if we're really wobbly and falling here, it just means that we need to concentrate the organization of the body from the ground up. So really focus into that left foot. Pull up on the kneecap on the left leg. And continue to follow that strength all the way up through your right fingertips and your right toes. That's it. Good. Good. Let's gently, right hand comes down, pivot your right hip, square it to the mat, and then move into your twist. Left hand onto your sacrum or up towards the sky. If you can, follow your gaze up towards your left fingertips. Two more breaths. With your next exhale, let's release. Left hand comes down, right foot. Good. Walk your hands back, catch onto opposite elbow and fold forward. Allow the neck to just release. And slow down your breath. Good. Now you can either stay here for a few more breaths, or if you need more of a neck stretch, you can interlace your hands behind your head and very gently start to pull your head towards your knees. Kind of working into some neural flossing here. This can be quite intense, so just be mindful and gentle. Good. Let's release the hands down onto the mat. Inhale, gaze up, long through the spine. Plant your hands, jump or step back into high plank. And lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing duck. Exhale, downward facing duck. Good. Inhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Good. Now from here, keep your hands where they are, but roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Now, for some of us, this is going to be quite intense. We're going to stay here. If you want an added challenge, this creates needs and requires a lot of strength in the legs, okay, and hugging into the center. You are going to lift your hands up and try to clasp them behind your back or onto your hips. So play with it. Keep pushing down into the right foot and lift your back knee up. Yeah, it's tricky, hey? I'm falling with you guys. So keep just practicing here. That's it. One more breath. Good. Roll the right foot back down, place your hands onto the mat, and step back, downward facing dog. And then let's switch sides. Inhale, step your left foot forward. And same idea, roll onto the outer edge of that left foot. You can stay down or try to organize the body. So first, push down strongly into the feet, and then slowly start to lift. Now, I know I'm there with you guys. That foot really wants to come down onto the mat, doesn't it? Yeah. Watch this month as this progresses, as we just start to learn how to organize the body in this posture. Very different for us. Good, that's it. Good, one more breath. Good. And then you can release your hands down to the mat and step back, downward facing dog. Very good. So isn't that interesting? We have the strength, we have everything we need for a posture like that, but because it is so brand new for the body, it doesn't know what to do, right? So we'll watch. We'll watch as the knowledge kind of gets downloaded this month. Good. Inhale, step your right foot in between your hands. You're going to spin and drop your back heel down onto the mat. Good. Now, once again, take your hands back behind you, interlace your hands, and we are going to fold to the inside edge of that right knee. Bring your hands up towards the sky. Good. If your shoulder is anywhere near your right knee, push your right knee into your shoulder and your shoulder into that knee and watch how much more stability you get. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Let's gently unravel. Place your hands down onto the mat. Lift that back heel, step back, downward facing dog. Good, and switching sides. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Spin, drop your back heel. Good. Take your hands back behind you, and let's fold forward to the inside edge of that left knee. Good. If you can, make contact again with the left knee with your shoulder. Find stability there as you ground into your feet. Good. Now, if you're okay here, sink a little deeper into that left knee, bringing the knee over the ankle. Good. To unravel, release your hands down onto the mat, lift your back heel, step back into high plank. Let's lower. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee, and let's set up for our splits. So start inching your right foot forward, and you find your depth. If you need to slow down the breath a little bit, check back in with your breathing. Refocus the mind and settle back into your intention. Good. Now we can stay here, or just like last month, you can bend your back foot, or your back knee, sorry, catch onto that left foot. Just remember, we're always talking about creating change and shift. We cannot create change in the body or mind from a place of wanting or lack, right? We must come from the place or the belief that it is already happening, that change, that shift, right? So if it is freedom that we are looking for, or space in the body, or healing, for a moment we have to breathe and believe that it is already there. Yeah. Good. Let's slowly unravel. Hands come down, and we will switch sides. Step back, downward facing dog. Good, and then send that left foot forward. Good, so same variation here as you did on the other side. That's it. Good. I like that. Good. Checking in with that back foot. And the idea of just even seeing how close we can come if we bend that back knee is perfect. Even if just for a few seconds we reach back towards it, right? Good. That's it. Let's gently release. Hands come down. Let's thread that left foot through back into high plank. Lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's bring our gaze forward. We are coming into crow posture. So walk your feet forward. Keep your sit bone high up towards the sky. Bend your arms, knees into your armpits or back of your arms, and shift your weight forward. If you can, gaze up. And when you're light onto your toes, I'm all over the place today, falling. Good. Maybe come light onto your toes. And keep everything hugging into the back of the body. That's it. Good, Wilhelmina. Good, Robin. Try for 2 more breaths. Good. And then you can release into a low squat. So land down into the feet. Good. Bring your arms to the inside edges of your knees, hands into prayer. Beautiful. Maybe rock from side to side. See if you can get some release. So it's that idea of taking your tailbone or your sit bones and rolling them underneath, dropping them down towards the mat. That's it. Good. Now let's place the hands down onto the mat. You're going to lift your sit bones up so that you have the space to work your shoulders underneath your knees. Okay. So we worked on this a little bit last month. Once you're here, you can either stay holding onto your ankles and just work this posture, or if you can, place your hands to the outer edges of your heels, drop your tailbone back down towards the mat, and maybe lift your feet. Good. Ujjayi and then Titibhasana is to try to straighten the legs. Good. And then very gently, let's come out of the posture. Jump or step back into high plank. I know the tricky part is getting out. Good. And run through your vinyasa or just meet us in downward facing dog. Okay, let's take 3 breaths here. Let's bring your gaze forward. Jump all the way through onto your seat. Go ahead, extend your legs out in front of you. Now let's take our hands back behind us Fingertips pointing towards the top of your mat. Good. If this is way too intense, you can also bend your knees here with feet onto the mat. But I think we can all do this with straight legs. Good. And then inhale. Let's lift the pelvis up towards the sky. Drop your gaze back behind you if it's okay with the neck. And then find your big toes. Press them into the mat. Good. Let's release. Walk your hands forward. And let's come into a forward fold. Good, and notice how you feel. Slow down the breath, and again, find the pauses at the peak of your inhale and bottom of your exhale. Remember, we want to simply observe the happenings in the body. Watch with fascination how everything works together. Right? How everything communicates and connects to create this incredible dynamic response in the body and all the different programs, different functions. We basically want to come to it with a very open mind, open eyes, and a sense of curiosity. Good. Let's sit up nice and tall. And then keep your left leg where it is. Take your right foot to the inside edge of your left leg. Open up nice and wide. Good. Now walk your left hand towards your left toes. Right arm up and over. Good. Use that left elbow pushed into your left leg so that you can start to spin your chest open and follow that gaze up towards the sky. Good. Now extend a little deeper into your right fingertips and breathe here. Good, and now guide us back up. Let's extend the right leg out and switch sides. Left foot comes in. Right hand connects down to your right ankle, shin, or foot. Left arm up and over. Now, just gaze down at your right toes and watch. Make sure they're straight up towards the sky, and there's a slight pressure down into the mat with that right leg. Good. Inhale, come back up through center. Let's take both legs straight out in front of us for our second forward fold. Good, and just notice how it's feeling. It's a little bit different now into the body. Maybe walking your hands a little deeper. Maybe you can even interlace your hands around your heels or catch onto your wrist with the other hand. So just notice the depth you can get. Good, let's release, sit up nice and tall. Let's come to lay flat onto the back with your knees up towards the sky, feet flat onto the mat. Take your arms by your side. Inhale, lift your right heel straight up towards the sky. And then inhale, lift your pelvis up. Good. Keep rooting down into that left foot as you find the back of the shoulders and push into the hands for a little more of a lift. Good. Let's switch sides. Right foot comes down, left heel up, and lift. Beautiful. And let's come down. Place your left heel down and we will set up for our back bends. So align the body. Good. And then let's shift into our first one. So any step of our back bends is fine. Just make sure that you're pushing yourself. Good. So come on up if you aren't there yet. Good. Let's come all the way down on the crown of the head. Take a breath. Beautiful. And inhale, rise. Good. Push into the hands and the feet. Soften the glutes for 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down around the crown of the head. Good. And inhale, rise. Good. And all the way down. Tuck your chin. Lay flat onto the back. Land your hands onto the belly or the heart. And slow down your breath. Relax your shoulders. Push them down into the mat. Good. Now, let's extend our legs flat onto the mat. Good. Bring your palms together above you, fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling or the sky. And to start, first start to roll up the shoulders up off the mat and your head. And then lift your feet into boat posture. Good. And then exhale, release. Keep your hands lifted if you can. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Good. Second set. First roll up the shoulders and the head, and then lift your feet. Good. Find your breath. And exhale, release. Take a breath. Let it go through the mouth. Beautiful. And your strongest one yet. Last time, inhale, lift your shoulders, roll up the head, and then lift your feet. And exhale, come down, release, relax your arms down by your side. Take a breath here. And then we'll come into Halasana. Let's roll our toes back behind your head, hands onto the lower back as you support this opening through the back of the body. Good. And then with your steady breath, let's start to unwind the body. Coming into Shavasana. So find the most comfortable position. Make sure you're warm. Do all of your fidgeting and then get yourself steady. Soften the jaw and soften your hold on the breath. Just allow it to be soft and natural. Soften the hold on the mind, and then soften the hold on any part of the body that you're still feeling tension. And then we just simply settle in. Watch your breath. Watch the subtle pauses between your breath. As we lay steady here, take some deep breaths back into the body. In your own time, when you're ready, you can gently bring your knees into your chest, find your side, and in time, find your comfortable seat. Good. Once you found your seat, close your eyes, sit up with a nice tall spine. Good. And then I think today we're going to work with Breath of Glow, which we haven't done in a long time. Really healing for the nervous system, really empowering. And just like the name says, if we envision this white light that is getting bigger and bigger with this breath, it literally starts to shift the energetic field around us. Okay, and this is why we hold our arms in the way that we do and why we hold our palms towards the crown of the head. Okay, just to kind of create this energetic field around the body. So as a reminder, interlace your hands. You're going to bring your arms above your head. Arms are bent, okay? Just nice and relaxed here, shoulders down your back. And then if you remember with Breath of Glow, it's the same idea. On your inhale, the belly comes out. Exhale, we snap it back in, okay? And that added feature is to literally feel like there's a ball of light or energy around the belly button region. And as we continue with the breath, this light literally pulsates around the body until it is encompassing us in this amazing bright white light, okay? So see what you can do. Let's take a big inhale here. Exhale out. Good, and let's begin. Inhale, belly comes out. And exhale, begin. Keep going with the breath. If at any time you need a break, take a few natural breaths and then join us again. Good, you're about halfway. Good, last 20 seconds. Good. Take a big inhale. Reach, lengthen your arms. So straighten the elbows. Draw everything up. So pelvic floor draws up, chest drops to your chin. Good. Keep holding the breath. And exhale, soften and relax. Arms come down. Keep your eyes closed. And feel the energy in the body. Quite powerful when we start to pay attention to it. And now let's take all this energy that we have created, been very mindful throughout the entire practice, and let's start to focus it within the body as we shift into our meditation. Let's take all that swirling energy, all the light, and start at the pelvic floor, at our base chakra there. Feel the energy within this center, helping to ground down, helping to release, and then helping to create something more stable. And let's inhale, start to move that energy up to the space just below the belly button, into our second chakra. The same idea. Start to harness the energy in this area of the body, releasing that which no longer serves us. and then grounding into something more stable. Okay, let's continue to move our energy up towards the solar plexus. Same idea here, moving through the same steps. And then let's start to shift that awareness up the spine, right around the heart center. Feeling the depth that we can breathe into this part of the body, what we can release, and then what we can ground into. And follow your awareness up now into your throat chakra. This area helping us to settle into our wisdom and speak our truth. And then move your awareness up into your third eye, the point in between your eyebrows. Our guidance point. We start to open ourselves up to our intuition and guidance from a higher power. And lastly, move your awareness up into your crown chakra. So we're at the crown of the head. Hold your focus and awareness here. Again, shedding what no longer serves us. And tapping into, again, a higher form of wisdom. Higher form of direction. And then finally, take your breath down back to the base chakra. And then inhale all the way up through the different points that we just spoke about. So the inhale guides you all the way up the spine, lands you back up at the crown chakra. And then with your exhale, let everything go. Feel this lightness, this softness, this ease of pressure. And one more time, inhale from the base all the way to the crown of the head. When you reach the crown of the head, you exhale and let go of everything. Very good. The eyes closed. Let's inhale our hands in front of heart center. And let's drop our gaze inward. One last time, settle into your intention. Beautiful. Thank you for showing up, for doing the work, both on your mat and in the world. Namaste.